ladies and gentlemen, it is Kevin Jackwitz here with the Kaged review, and I promised that I would do a review of 98RockFest, which happened this past Friday, 21st of April. And, it was a fucking really good concert and a lot better than I expected. So I kind of told everybody in my last catch-up post that it all started kind of awkwardly. I got the tickets for Christmas to go to 98RockFest. Unfortunately, they were pit tickets, and I didn't think that I was going to do very well with my health being in the pit for 8 hours. Couple hours, maybe a few hours, okay. But for 8, I didn't see it happening. So we decided to go ahead and give my ticket to a friend of mine I used to work with. And my girlfriend still had hers, so it was going to be my girlfriend going with the guy I worked with and his girlfriend. And so I was like, cool, whatever, good, go, have a good time. I didn't want her to miss the concert. And she's like, well, why don't you come with me and you can stay in the hotel room with me? Because there was going to be 2 separate hotel rooms. And so I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll go just chill out in the hotel. Well, I get there and she heads down to see the first outside bands, and she's like, you can come see the outside bands. There's no charge to go see them. And I forgot about that because I've been to 98RockFest before. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go check out a couple of the outside bands. At least I'll get to see Powerman 5000, which I've always wanted to see. So I go out there and, everybody's talking, having a good time, whatever. And it was funny because my favorite song from Powerman 5000 is Bombshell. And I literally walked up as soon as they started playing that song. I was like, fuck yeah. So that was really, really cool. So I got some video of that. I got a lot of pictures of a lot of the bands. And at the end of the outside set, Nicole, my girlfriend, she's like, well, maybe we should check to see how much the seats are right now. And maybe I can get you a seat so you can check out the concert. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I go in, and the prices had been really dropped because it was the day of and they were trying to sell out the seats. So I was automatically stoked at this point because, I figured, all right, let's do this. So it was literally because of my girlfriend that I got to see the concert. So, man, I'll tell you, I didn't know what to expect from a couple of these bands. I was pleasantly surprised all the way around. I figured Fozzy would be good. They're the opening act. And they just blew it away. So, let me go ahead and I'll start the actual rock review part of this. So, the first band that I saw, they had 3 outside bands, Red, Powerman 5000, and 10 Years. I didn't get a chance to see Red because we were late. So, I showed up probably halfway through the Powerman 5000 set, but I still got to see him. That was really cool. I think by the end he was a little tired. It was hot as hell out there, to be very honest. And but he was still trying to pump up the crowd and having a good time and shit. Very, very cool. And they sounded really good. I mean, they really sounded like their albums for the most part. So that was a good thing. And honestly, that's a commonality between every fucking band this time. There was probably one exception, and I'll get into that when I get to them. But so I was very, very happy with Powerman 5000. Not as much energy towards the end, but like I said, it was hot as fuck out there. I mean, they had to be burning up. But it was really cool because afterwards you saw Powerman 5000. They went off to the right of the stage and they were actually hanging out with the crowd and taking pictures and shit. So that was really cool. And after them was 10 Years. And 10 Years is kind of a newer band, at least to me. And I really liked a couple of their songs, especially Wasteland. I've been listening to Wasteland a lot. It's been playing on rock radio a lot. And so I was really hoping to catch them doing that song. And as it turns out, I was in line, because it was hot as hell out there, in line to get water. And then they start playing the song, and I'm like, shit, well, if I leave the line, I'm going to have to start this process all over again just to get a cup of water. So, it's at a concert, it's outside, it's hot, it's Tampa, Florida. So I went ahead, stayed in line, and I took some video of 10 years as they were playing the song, and I did it from the line, of the water line, and so, you know, it's kind of distant. You see a lot of the crowd, people walking back and forth, and but at least I got it. I did get that, so I'll take it. And I got another video at the end. I forget what the last song they played was, but it was cool. There's this big, huge stack of speakers on the left side that towers above the crowd. He gets up on the speaker and he's doing his thing there. But they sounded really good. The lead singer's definitely got a good voice. It's not anything that's overly produced. So that was cool. And then you get inside, and I was really not sure what to make of Fozzy. I really like their new single, Judas. Their song Painless is pretty damn good. So, you know, I was excited to see him because I met Chris Jericho as a fan going to a WWE show. So I was really interested to see how it was going to be going to see him in a concert setting. Especially since he's like, you know, almost 50. I mean, he's just a couple of years shy of 50, I think. And I gotta say, man, you want to talk about pleasantly surprised all the way around. This guy is just ageless. They actually start out with Judas, so I immediately get the video going for that. I took a lot of pictures of Fozzy. And, I mean, the guy's bouncing around, jumping up and down like he's 20 years old for the entire set. He is just a lot of energy out there. He's having a great time. And his bandmates too, much the same way. Their guitarist, he's got this like weird jump kick thing that he does. That he just, like I said, the whole set they were doing shit like that. And I just very, very cool. I was really surprised. And again, they sounded very, very good live. I wasn't sure how Chris Jericho was going to sound. I mean, you know, you have to wonder sometimes, is he just cashing in on his WWE fame and trying to be a rock star? But either way, it worked and he sounded good. So, I mean, I have to give him all the rock credit in the world, honestly. I was really impressed. Really impressed. Then comes Starset, which is this weird crossbreed of electronica and rock, and it's definitely more poppy, but very good. And one of the really, really cool things about Starset is their set is actually kind of celestial in a way. You got this video screen with the sun and planets, and you got this weird spaceship looking setup around them, and they come out in space suits, and the space suits light up. They got a row of lights on each side of their body, and their helmets, and the drum set lights up. So it was really cool. It was very a cool visual experience, as well as, you know, listening to their songs. I have to say, it's something that I made a tweet about it that says it's not something you listen to, it's something you experience. And I think that really sums up the Starset live performance. It's really, really cool. These spacesuits have these like little thruster type things that pour smoke out of the back. It was just really cool. It really was. I really, I liked Starset. I made mention that my girlfriend, she wasn't too keen on it because it's not really rock like when you consider like Fozzy and Seether, 3 Days Grace. It's not those types of bands type of rock. It's different. Like I said, it's a little bit more electronic, a little bit more pop, but really good. One of my favorite songs from them is Monster, and I definitely got some video with Monster, so I was happy about that. And then, honestly, the weak link for me, just for me, for the night was Seether. And you know, the lead singer, he made a comment that we don't use any backtracks to make us sound better than we actually are. And I really appreciate that because they really did sound good. They were not bad at all. Don't get it twisted. They were not. I'm just saying the weak link of the night. And that's only because sometimes it sounded very garage bandy. It was very stripped down, but so stripped down that any imperfection really was highlighted. And that really sung true throughout their whole performance. But for the most part, they were really, really good and hit the nail on the head. And there were a couple of performances of, you know, songs that they've done that I was like, fuck yeah, this is what I like about Seether. So they were still very, very, very good. The voice, the guy, the lead singer, he sounded great. So yeah, there's not really anything bad that I have to say about it. It just came across like a garage band performance at times. And I think that's, you know, when you strip it down, that's what it's going to sound like. So I think in some ways, you know, I appreciate a little distortion on things. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, absolutely phenomenal. And there was one song that they did, Betray and Degrade, which I don't know if you've ever heard that song, but it is really, really good. I got some live footage of that, which was really cool. Very, very cool. And then after that was 3 Days Grace. And 3 Days Grace, man, I'll be honest, this was one band walking into this. I'm like, dude, they are so polished on their CDs. Everything is so produced very well that I don't think that they couldn't possibly sound this good live. And with the new lead singer, he's been around for a few years. I really didn't know what to expect, and I was expecting them to be the worst band of the night. To be very honest, I figured this would be like, okay, this is the band that's gonna be the really bad live performance, and they're gonna have the squealy vocals. Dead wrong. They came out and they kicked ass from beginning to end, and they really kicked ass. And they hit a lot of their big hits with this. I Am Machine, Pain, Riot, of course, Animal. I mean, everything that you hear on the radio. And it was funny because the guy came out and made a comment that these guys now have more #1 singles for rock radio than Van Halen, who had the record. So it's like, say what you want about 3 Days Grace, that says something right there. Like, that says that they just produce hits continuously. And it is very listenable rock. I mean, it's not what a lot of metalheads would go towards. But I'll be honest, man, they're pretty heavy at times, and they kicked ass. The lead singer, he's got this really, really cool rock scream that he does a lot more live than he does on his CDs. Like, he really sells the rock part of the band, and I like that. I really do, because like he's got cred for me, because he's not just an overly produced pop rock band, and he really showed that at this concert. I mean, he really kicked ass. I'm telling you, man, it really surprised me. It took me away. So for anybody who thinks it's 3 Days Grace isn't good live or wouldn't be, dude, go see them. They kick ass. They really had a great show. So far, we've got, 6 bands that, I mean, really are all solid performances. Because I've heard bands that I'm just like, oh my God, are you shitting me? No, every one of these bands was good. Like, really fucking good. And the headliner was Shinedown. And I'd seen Shinedown once before. Actually, I think it was the same place, Amalie Arena. And it was one of those things where something happened, and as soon as they hit the first guitar note, like, the speakers blew. And so I guess they had some backup speakers or some different speakers that weren't quite as big. And they hooked up like a semi-acoustic set, so it was kind of a very stripped down version of what Shinedown would normally do. And they were so totally cool about it. They were very gracious with the crowd. But again, like I said in my update, is like, they were just as gracious this time, because they had a long fucking set. They started at like 11, and we didn't get out of there until like 12:20. I mean, they just kept going. They keep adding songs, and this guy is just into it with the crowd. He's smiling the whole time. He's having a great time, you can tell. And voice was just amazing, of course. I mean, if you've ever heard the lead singer of Shinedown and sing and just belt out, the guy has got a voice. None of that is fucking overly produced. That is actually him singing, and it is a crazy good voice. So, again, they did all the major hits that you think they would do. They did Sound of Madness, of course, 45. A lot of really, really good songs, and some of it I think are kind of classic at this point. And they did Simple Man. That was one of the last songs they did. It was a very stripped down version, because everything else, it's been your standard or electric set, which is awesome. They had a lot of really cool lighting effects too that really amped you up. And then for their second to last song, before they went out with their big bang, it was just the guitarist with an acoustic guitar, and acoustic electric, of course, and the lead singer, and just a really cool version of Simple Man, which I really liked. He got the crowd. And one thing I will say about this band in particular is they really know how to get the crowd going. The lead singer works the crowd very, very well. I was super impressed with these guys. I really were. Yeah, I don't know of too many bands that try to get as interactive. Like, I've seen bands get interactive with the fans before and even go down into the fans, and but he really gets interactive with the fans and really tries to make sure that it's a participation event. And I love that. I love that, because that's what it's all about. It's this big ass rock community where we come together to enjoy our love of music. And he makes it a big family feel, and I fucking love that. So at the end of the day, I was super, super happy. I mean, I was surprised that I got to go see it in the first place, because when we first got to Tampa, I thought I was just going to be in the video, or in the motel room doing videos for God of War. And, I actually got to go. So, I mean, that was pretty amazing. It really was. And I felt bad because I had to give away pit tickets, but there was just no way I could go to the pit. So, my girlfriend was disappointed enough in the fact that I wasn't going to be able to see the concert that she made sure I went anyway. So that was awesome. It was really, really fucking good. If you ever get the chance to see any of these bands live, Fozzy was a great beginner act for the main stage. Shinedown, absolutely phenomenal. And it was cool because they had a bunch of fireworks that they saved for the very last song. Everything else was lighting, which was really cool. I mean, honestly, they had some of the best laser show I've seen. Be honest, I think it was probably the best laser show. And their stage setup was just really fucking cool. But yeah, at the end, man, there was so many loud fireworks too, man. I mean, the first one, nobody was expecting it, and it scared the shit out of everybody. But by the end, we're like, fuck yeah! Really, really cool. So, 98RockFest, it was their 10-year anniversary of the 98RockFest, and they called it the Big Ten, and man, it was definitely a great job. 98 Rock put together a hell of a concert, and it's only the second 98 RockFest I think that I've been to. It's the second or third one. I don't know, I used to go to a lot of festivals, and I know I've been to at least one, maybe two. And I mean, they're always good. Like, the first one I went to had Trivium and Five Finger Death Punch, Evanescence, and Shinedown, ironically, was the first time I saw them. They headlined, and that's when they did their acoustic set. And on the outside stage was Adelita's Way and POD. And just really good performances from everybody there, too. We only caught the last two songs from Adelita's Way, but like I said, really good. So, if you ever want a really great time, man, I highly suggest getting tickets every time 98 RockFest happens, because it seems to be well worth it every year. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my review of 98RockFest 2018. That was April 21st. No, April 20th. And it was just a good time, man. Every band on there was solid as fuck. I couldn't say enough, so that is my review. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, especially if you've seen any of these bands. Do you agree with me that they're pretty damn good live? And if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwitz. Kaged Nation, out.